Hello, third grade. Welcome to your next art lesson. This is the first lesson of the spring semester. Well, the first official of the spring semester. We've already done some things like the art show and we did an art review, but this time we're going to start working on our expeditions. You guys are going to be working on posters and making artwork, and eventually we're going to be working on how to make a successful Save the Earth / anti-pollution poster. So we're going to start off by looking at what makes a successful poster. Now, clearly when I say poster, I don't mean someone who posts something. I mean an actual poster. So let's look. Oops. Now this is a billboard. I know a billboard some people don't think of as a poster, but it is. It's just a giant poster that happens to be outside. So what is a poster? A poster is a temporary promotion of an idea, a product, or an event that's put up in a public space for mass consumption. That's really technical, and let's look at it again. In other words, it's a piece of temporary artwork that lets lots of people know about something. And usually it's put somewhere where lots of people will see it. That's one of the reasons why I used a billboard as an example, because when you are driving, you usually see these up and down the highway, and that's a great place for people to put posters. You can see them there. So posters have been around since humans invented the printing press, which means we had ways to consistently, which means the same thing over and over again, print something with text. Mostly it was books, but they would also have these one-page print posters where it would have information on it, and it was black and white for hundreds of years. So you can see that there are two examples here. One says, "For California, direct." It's about the gold rush that happened back in the 1849. And the other one is an advertisement for a carriage service without horses. Ooh, do you know what that means? It actually means like it was an automobile. So these were old-fashioned posters. They were still about advertising things, and they were a good way to get lots of information to lots of people, but they're boring compared to what we know today. So let's look at let's learn more about the history of posters. In the 1880s, artists began to experiment with ways to put color on paper with the printing presses. And once they were able to do that successfully, posters took off in a whole new direction. Look at the examples here. Now, the one that is that's got the lady in the striped dress, it's a poster for a poster shop. It's actually a way of the poster shop saying, "Oh, look what we can do. We can really make some fancy posters." And the one on the right is an advertisement for a theater where they're putting on a play where these people were in those costumes. Through time, posters have changed, and we're going to look at how things look differently through the years on these next few slides. So we've got two more from the early 1900s. HARPERS was a magazine, and so that was like the June edition's advertisement. And that one says Victor Bicycle. So that was the kind of poster that you might see up around town for a company that sold bicycles. Sometimes posters have been used for political statements. Both of these are from World War II. One of them is talking about sharing. Don't hoard, which means, collect and keep only for you your food. Be patriotic. Think about your fellow neighbors. So they may have printed a lot of these out. They may have put them up in big cities. They may have put them up in neighborhoods that it would remind people to share their food. The other one, I just saw it, that says, "I want you to wash your hands, do your part." Well, that's a joke on the "I want you to join the army" one from Uncle Sam there. So I guess I didn't quite pay attention that closely, but it's still a political ad. I mean, it still wants you to do something. It wants you to wash your hands. So, posters were also used for traveling or vacation industries. So these are from the 50s. This was both were posters advertising Switzerland on the left. You can see that she's dressed like she's going to be skiing. And there's the Italian lakes. These both indicate something with a vacation. On the left, she's having fun and she's gone skiing. On the right, it shows you the very pretty kind of place that you might that you could visit. So I want you to think for a few moments. So far, the things that we've seen haven't had a lot of actual pictures in it, as in photos, photography. And that's in part because photography was very hard to print with lots and lots and lots of posters. It would get degraded. It wouldn't look as good as it goes on. But as we advance in human history, so is our printing techniques and other things like that. So when you look at the next few posters, you're going to see that they do change and it gets a little bit more realistic, or even uses real photographs, because we're going to look at movie posters. So movie posters have changed over the years. I've got one from the 50s, one from the 80s, and one from the 2010s. You can see that posters have changed, not just in quality, with the Avengers being the one that's probably uses real photos with CGI. The Back to the Future is artwork, but so is the Blob. You can see that the detail in them have also changed. Also, really, when you look at them, see how much information is on some of these. The Blob has actually a lot of information. It tells you who's in it: Steve McQueen and Anita Corsat, and then it actually describes the movie. Kind of, because it says indescribable, indestructible, nothing can stop it. Back to the Future excuse me, also has something to describe the movie. He says he was never in time for his classes. He wasn't in time for his dinner. This one day, he wasn't in his time at all. So it describes the movie. But then look at the Avengers. Does it describe anything? Are there any words written on it? Movie posters have changed a lot over the years. And then we've got some more examples of some posters. I have to toss in Star Wars because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. There's a car poster. I mean, that's kind of wild. It's showing you what it says, the interior and the exterior of a Gremlin car. And that really was the name of the car, the Gremlin. And then I put in another fast food poster, so you could look and see what some of those would look like. So what are you doing today? Today, you are going to pick one of the posters from this presentation, and you're going to write 3 sentences for me why you like that poster over all of the others. You can do any of the posters that are in this presentation. Miss France predicts that 90% of you are going to do the Avengers. I know, I understand. I knew what I was doing when I put it in there. And then more, some of you will do Star Wars, and then the others will probably do McDonald's and pizza. So I'm going to take a look, think back to the Blob movie poster. 3 sentences about it. I would say I chose the Blob movie poster over the other posters because I like that it looks like it's a scary movie. I can tell it's a scary movie because the Blob is eating, or kind of wrapping itself around a building, and people are running from it. That's information that I got from that picture. I could look at it and tell, oh, hey, that's going to be a scary movie because people are running from it. I can also say that I like the colors in it. Because it's a red blob, it kind of makes me think that it might be another a scary movie. And then, let's see, one more thing I can say about it. And I know that Steve McQueen's going to be in the movie, so I chose this poster. So I want you to come up with 3 sentences. They don't have to be as detailed as mine, but I don't want 3 sentences that says, I like movies, I like the Blob, I like this poster. We got to think about more. I want you to get some more in depth about why you like that poster. All right? That's all I got for you guys today. Next week we're going to start working on actual posters. We're going to learn how to make, bubble and block letters. We're going to learn about how to pick subjects, how to make it boiled down to one thing. We'll look at some good examples of posters. We'll find some not so good examples of posters. But this week we're just picking one of these from the presentation, writing 3 sentences, and turning it in. All right, see you guys.